Wow, the journey has been beautiful. I mean, I consider myself fortunate to have met the right people at the right time. Everyone I know is loving the show. So, everyone I speak to says that the show is unique and it's something like they've never seen before, they relate to it. It's not easy to leave your house and come to a new city, and especially if you don't know anybody, like it's crazy. I mean, I'm a touch wood, things worked out for me.
So, Megha, first of all, a warm welcome to GlitzVision USA.
Thank you. I somehow didn't process it for a week, and it's the first time I've done something like this. I usually don't block my emotions, I allow myself to feel a lot of things, but this was the first time I didn't give it thought. I mean, I was one of the first people to get to know, like, the day I found out, only me and the director and the production में से भी 2-3 जन को ही पता था, and nobody else knew, and I was not supposed to share it with anyone for that day, and it was weird. I knew whenever I was going for the shots that okay, it's ending, and it didn't feel great. But somewhere in the head, I knew, knowing that we were in the KBC slot, that it might just happen. But even when we got the time slot in the first place, right from the beginning, there were little uncertainties because we were first supposed to start airing earlier. Then the telecast date got shifted, and we started with IPL as it is, which we know that it's difficult for shows to thrive alongside IPL. So I think there were a lot of challenges, and despite that, we've had an audience consistently, and the audience that we've had is kind of it's one of a kind because they're very classy. They have this taste. They understand what our content is all about, and for me that was a win. Because even after the news has come out that the show is going off air, we are trending on Twitter every day, and these things make you realize that sometimes it's not about the numbers, it's about doing a great show like Sapno Ki Chhalaang and knowing that you did good work and being able to sleep at night peacefully knowing that. I honestly want to know the answer. I mean, I've been racking my. Yeah, it is such a good show, and it's not like no one, everyone was loving it. And whoever heard the news said that, how is that possible? We are watching it every day. How is that possible? Everyone I know is loving the show. So, everyone I speak to says that the show is unique and it's something like they've never seen before, they relate to it. So, it just makes me think, and I've given it some thought, and perhaps I mean, cliches work for a reason. It's just the input that I am getting is from the urban audience around me, from the city itself. I don't know because as far as my understanding of TRP is, it I think mainly comes from the rural side of the country, and I have no idea. Maybe it's something that didn't get to them, or it's something that people just prefer watching love stories. I don't know what it is, but there's no regret. I mean, I love the fact that we did something different. We showed the story of a ordinary girl who has her own flaws. She's not perfect just because she's the protagonist. So that's something I really enjoyed, and I really hope that we continue making shows like this and not get disheartened with the fact that the numbers, because I don't know what these numbers are after all. I mean, I really don't understand. So it's been like almost 4 years now, but I don't understand how TRPs work. So I had a misconception. I don't know if I can call it a misconception, but I'd been thinking that I had been asking the question to myself, and luckily I've been doing very different kind of shows. Whenever all the 4 shows that I've done have been very different with different characters. When I got Sapno Ki Chhalaang and I read the script, it was like, I was like, wow, I was waiting for something like this. And I wondered, why doesn't this happen often? Why don't people make something like this? It's such a blessing for actors when you get good writers and when you get a good story. It's so perfect. But now I'm coming to think that maybe, I mean, at the end of the day, the entertainment industry is not just about art, it's also business, and people would want to make the money that they're putting in making such content. So if they don't get their dues and if people don't watch it, then how can they keep taking that risk, right? So I think it's a two-way street. We can't blame the makers, we can't blame the actors for making the content that they're making, because at the end of the day, apparently that's what's working. That's what I realized after doing this show. So, but that really doesn't mean that we should be like morbid about it and think that okay, it's not working, so let's just ditch it. I think we should try it. I try every time. Like, I've been making those choices consciously. If I've been asked to do something that's really far from logic, I have begged. If I couldn't put my foot down, I've begged for it to not happen, and people have listened to me. So I think we can make those small attempts and just give it a shot. I think audience is not really like not intelligent. I really think our audience is intelligent. It's just we have to crack a way which is more balanced, I think. Oh, I think I had become Radhika because yeah. I mean, there were so many times that I saw myself in Radhika. There were so many times I saw a friend I know in Radhika, and it is so based on a real character. She was not perfect in every sense. The one thing that was true about her was she was so passionate about the work that she did, and her career, and her dreams, her love for her family. And sometimes she made wrong judgments around it, but she always came back. She always fell, but she knew how to pick herself up, which is so important in normal life. And those are the kind of people who thrive, and those are the kind of people who succeed. So despite her lack of judgment in certain cases, because she's a little naive, she's in a new city, she's young, but she's figuring a way out, and I'm sure the kind of a girl that she is, she will find a way through. And that's the part, like, that is so realistic that I didn't feel at any point apart from a little towards the end, because I can't blame anybody, because it was just a sudden news and we all had to like somehow conclude the story in a way that it's not left hanging anywhere. So that's the reason why some things were a little fastened. But no, I mean, Radhika has been a perfect character for me. I didn't have to make an effort to act. I would read the script and I just would feel everything. So yeah, I think that's a feeling that I want to chase for the rest of my career. For me, there were a couple of moments like that. I'll begin with the office track because I also come from, I'm an engineer, so I was also working in a company, and there were some things that I've seen which are similar to what Radhika had to experience, and especially that has never happened with me, but through Radhika I realized that how when you start to get successful, then there are people who are jealous of you around you, especially in whichever industry that you are in, and they start to spread rumors, which is a major issue had happened with Radhika. Just because she's a girl and she could take a stand for herself, there was a guy Karthik who spread rumors about her climbing the ladders of success faster because she was getting special favors from the male seniors in the office. And I've got to hear similar things even when I was in engineering college. Like, I was the only one who got placed from all the girls in the college in the company that I got placed in, and people were very easily saying that she got the job because she's pretty. I mean, it's an engineering job. No one gives you a job because you're pretty or something. Anyway, so there was this sentence that Priyal said ki, I forgot the sentence exactly, what was it? But she said something like, कुत्तों का काम भौंकना होता है and हाथी पे भौंकना होता है, but Hathi is like a magnificent creature. Should just walk and not pay heed to what they do. And whenever you're getting more successful, people tend to try to pull you down. So you should never let anybody pull you down. And I was kind of experiencing something like that during the time we were shooting it, and I was like, okay, this is like kind of written for me also, you know. That thing stuck with me. I think many the office incidents, like the first day she stained herself and she had to like go through so much. I mean, these are moments that are gonna stay with me. There are some real crazy moments there, convincing your family to, because I think all of us have experienced this. You want your loved ones to understand what you really want to do in life, and that is a set of real emotions that I got to experience. It's not easy to leave your house and come to a new city and especially if you don't know anybody, like it's crazy. I mean, I'm a touchwood, things worked out for me, and I had completed my education and I had got myself a job, so I was confident. I was not afraid of coming on the streets in a way. So that's the reason why I started off with a lot of confidence. A lot of people don't get to do that. A lot of people come from far off cities, and they have to start everything from scratch. They have to fund their families and all. It's a big decision. But I think the heart knows, and the family will always show concerns because they care about you. But yeah, I think it's you have to find the balance. Some people understand better. Some people understand only if you prove a point. Like my parents have been very supportive, but they, of course, they were a little scared that I was going to quit my job and I was going to just start something out of nowhere. But I kept proving myself, so somewhere they had a confidence in me that maybe she'll do it. And I'd asked them, I had weighed all my options. Like I think like Radhika had made those files. I had also done something very similar, and I told I need 2 years. If it doesn't work out in 2 years, I've done everything I can go back to. But I knew it deep in my head. I knew there was no plan B. I knew I have to do this, and I will do this. And I think that sense of confidence is essential. If you doubt yourself, you can't reach anywhere. So I got my work in like I got work in like 4 months. So I think you just need to have that faith. Oof, wow, the journey has been beautiful. I mean, I consider myself fortunate to have met the right people at the right time. I also think that the kind of work that I've done should have been recognized a little more, considering I've done some good work, but we all feel that we deserve better. I mean, that's a never-ending story, but it doesn't dishearten me. It only motivates me to work harder. I don't think if it was supposed to be easy, then everyone would do it, right? So it's gonna be difficult, but the best part is that I love what I do. So I'm always excited. I love the challenges that I face, and I love to deal with them. Sometimes I laugh over it, sometimes I cry, but it just makes me a stronger person. It makes me a better actor because the more emotions I go through, the more data I have, you know. So yeah, win-win. Yes, it's so strange that sometimes you're going through something and it's bad, like you're crying, and then suddenly like, oh, this is how I cry. Okay, like make a note. It's so strange. We actors are crazy. So I think I'm very thrilled about what's in store. I want to do good work. I genuinely want to do good work, and I will try my best. Until I mean, I can't exactly predict what kind of work is going to come my way and all. But for the first time in my life, I've also said no. So let's just see how that pans out, because I've always believed in taking whichever work comes into your hand first. But then after doing a show like Chhalaang, I feel a little more responsible towards doing work that may have a better impact on society in general, at least in doing characters that can spread joy, you know, and not negativity. Oh, my fans, I mean, I don't even call them my fans, they're like extended family. I feel really special. I always say this, I don't know what I've done to deserve the love that I get, but it's just very endearing to see some people stick through thick and thin. Like real people don't stick through, but then there are people who are always standing by you, and I remember their names. I mean, they're that special to me. So I am really grateful that you guys are there in my life, and I hope I continue to work hard. Like when I was asked what's the difficult part about being an actor, and I said to continue the motivation. I mean, you guys have a huge role to play in that, because when I don't feel motivated to do something, or when I feel that, yeah, why am I doing this? This doesn't make sense. And then I think that I have to give my best and justify this, because there are people watching and looking forward to me doing good work. And it's because I owe it to you guys that I work so hard. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, this is Megha Ray, and you're watching me on GlitzVision USA.